Welcome, everybody. This is your host, Gun Hill Bane, and this is the Gun Hill Bane podcast. And you can find me on YouTube and on Twitter at Gun Hill Bane. And I just want to welcome each and every one of you. That's a burp of success. I'm going to edit that out, probably. Who knows? So, it's a new day. I got myself a new computer. Got myself a new camera. So now I'm looking sharp. I'm looking good. I can be able to just talk the shit with you guys and see where we go from here. And for all of you guys on Twitter, my brand new, be my first time there. So what up? What's good? Now, last night I watched Saturday Night Main Event. And the feature match of that was AJ Styles versus Shinsuke Nakamura. And to be perfectly honest with you, I would have no idea that Saturday Night Main Event would have been on if it wasn't for the sheer fact that Friday night on SmackDown, Nakamura challenged AJ Styles to a match. He basically told him, listen, you're going to go up against Gunther, and if you're going to put your career on the line, why don't you test your skills against your old-time rival? And it was like, oh shit. That moment alone changed the whole complexion of Saturday Night Main Event. It became just a random throwaway show into something of significant importance to the WWE. And I'm going to be a man enough to admit it because I am an AEW guy mostly. I feel that Saturday night's main event last night, not only was it one of the best Saturday night's main events that they have ever put on in history, but that match between AJ Styles and Nakamura is right now, and we're in January, is right now, match of the year. Match of the year. I know a lot of you guys are happy about that. I know a lot of you are very happy about that. And you should be, because AJ Styles is completely phenomenal. And Shinsuke Nakamura is truly one of the best in the business. Truly one of the best. So it's only fitting that these two guys go at it one-on-one. But I'm going to be very honest with you here, right? When I first saw Nakamura and AJ throw down, it was in Wrestle Kingdom 10. That's in around 2016. And for those of you who haven't seen that match, I highly, highly suggest to go to njpwworld.com, subscribe to it. It's basically less than $9. And then look up Wrestle Kingdom 10. Nakamura versus AJ Styles. I believe that's for the IWGP Intercontinental Championship. They threw down everything. They put their heart, they put their blood, they put their soul right in the middle of the ring. For 45 minutes, they showed us a tale of brutality, anguish, pain, suffering, triumph, glory, all of that. And it was significantly important because the very next night on New Year's Dash, Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks, they beat the shit out of AJ Styles. Kicked him out of the Bullet Club. Kenny Omega then became the new leader of Bullet Club. And just 2 weeks later, AJ Styles debuted at the Royal Rumble match, coming in number 3, to the shock and dismay of Roman Reigns and practically everyone in that arena on that day. 2 years later, WrestleMania 34, Nakamura, AJ Styles, first time ever. Two guys that battled into New Japan finally They're going to be facing each other one-on-one. And that was for the championship. I think that was for the World Championship at WrestleMania. Nakamura won the Royal Rumble match, and he faced against AJ Styles. And it was complete dog shit. It was. Not through any fault of their own, but their styles, the way that they deal with their match, had to be pigeonholed. It had to be leashed on by Vince McMahon because he didn't like that type of style. He liked the cartoony, safe, slow, molasses, weak type of style of the WWE, and it made things so wonky. And let me tell you this, as a man who loves everything that is about New Japan, I felt so devastated. Because it would have been so much better. They made Nakamura from a killing machine when he arrived at NXT to the comedic guy who hits people in the nuts. Hitting people in the nuts. And as the years gone by, they tried so much to make Nakamura a thing on the main roster, and it just didn't resonate with anybody. To the point that he's no longer used properly. He hasn't been used a lot except for situations when needed. He's a good filler. Kino strong style, used as a filler. I mean, AJ Styles moved on to have some great, incredible matches in his career in the WWE. And, you know, the same thing for Nakamura, but it didn't resonate. Fast forward to last night. They became older. They became more wiser. Vince McMahon is gone. Triple H, TKO, carrying the rings. AJ Styles, final year in the WWE, final year in wrestling, period. Nakamura challenged him to a match last night. He accepted. And what we saw was one of the most classic matches that you will ever see in a WWE ring. And the reason for that is very, very simple. They were finally given the opportunity to let out their light version of New Japan in a WWE ring. I look at Twitter, right? I see the comments, and a lot of people, everything has been positive about this match. However, there are some people, I'm not going to name names, you're going to talk about this is the greatest match of all time. No, it isn't. This is not the greatest match of all time. It is a fantastic match, but you're talking about people like me who've seen the days of Kenny Omega, who've seen the battles of Will Ospreay, of Okada, of Takeshita, everything that happens in New Japan. This pales in comparison. But it was very good. It was very good because they allowed the New Japan style to resonate into the WWE ring. And who could blame them? Matches up to this point has been boring, molasses, slow. Very slow. You may get some glimpse of some good bangers here and there, but there are so far few in between within the past few years of the WWE that when a match like this, of this magnitude, comes in, it's like a breath of fresh air. Of course it was going to be the greatest match. Of course it's going to be the match of the year in the WWE because they wasn't fighting a WWE style wrestling match. There were parts of WWE mixed into it because that's in their mindset right now. But the other part was from their strong style. That's from their stiff knees to the face, forearm shots. The type that actually can concuss people. Those type of matches. And you understand now why the hardcore fans, the fans who are outside of WWE, they enjoy these type of matches because it felt the realism on it. You are watching a competitive matchup between two men who is putting everything down on the line. They're not telling some goofy story. There's no outside interference. There's none of that. None of that. They were telling a tale of two rivals. Two rivals with their own styles, and they have that mutual respect for one another, and they laid it down on that ring for the whole Montreal crowd to see. You know, I think in the beginning, to me it was incredible. It's great to see AJ Styles being shown his true flowers on it, because he is truly the best. And no matter where he went, he started from TNA, incredible. I believe it was TNA Genesis 2009. The infamous triple threat match of AJ Styles, Samoa Joe, and Christopher Daniels. Those three men in that match put TNA on the map. It put TNA on the map. It got people talking about TNA in that era. The matches he had with Okada, with Nakamura, with Naito, you know, in New Japan. He was one of the coolest guys in Bullet Club, and he carried that with such passion. And of course, you know, his matches here in the WWE, you know, you got to respect that. You got to respect that for the man like that. Which begs the question here. Is the Royal Rumble going to be AJ Styles' final match? And if so, I can't even remember. When is the last time that AJ Styles had a match in the United States? It's like somewhere like a month ago, isn't it? So you mean to tell me inadvertently that I don't know. I don't watch, you know, Raw and SmackDown, but if I recall, they're on this huge European tour and they haven't even done anything in the United States throughout this entire month of January. So you mean to tell me that with all of AJ Styles' accomplishments, with everything he has done for the business of professional wrestling, he is going to hang up his boots in Saudi Arabia? Really? Saudi Arabia. I feel that's very bittersweet. From the man from Gainesville, Georgia, to completely finish his entire career in Saudi Arabia. Don't you think that the American crowd deserves a true AJ Styles send-off? That's why I don't think that. That's why this whole match between him versus Gunther is a little spicy, right? Because when Gunther defeated John Cena and choked him out, made him tap out, you know, back in December, they are billing him as the guy who will retire superstars. Right? He is the man who's going to retire the greats. So if AJ Styles were to go to Saudi Arabia and beat Gunther, that is a waste of a gimmick. And then what do you do with Gunther? He's no longer the career killer. He's no longer the ender of careers anymore if he can't beat AJ Styles. And if he does beat AJ Styles, that means his career is over in Saudi Arabia, and the American crowd will never get a chance to see AJ Styles ever again? Is this how it works? Is this how it works within TKO, within the WWE? I don't know. I know that AJ Styles is not like John Cena. He doesn't want the pomp and circumstance of having to go through an entire year. He doesn't want to have a retirement world tour per se. He's basically calling his own shot. He's basically saying that the day that he calls it quits, that's it. I'm done. And I'm just going to move on, be with family, be a family man, live out the rest of my days. I'm healthy. I'm good. Maybe I can be a trainer in the WWE, all that stuff, but I'm not going to wrestle anymore. And you know what? Good for him. Good for him. He deserves it. He deserves every single ounce of love, flowers, respect, money, whatever you can throw at him, because he is a good, kind-hearted, humble dude, hard worker, and he deserves all of that. But you gotta think about subconsciously the wrestler in him. What if that match with Shinsuke Nakamura triggered something in his subconscious? Does he really think that his match with Gunther is going to be one and done? Is this finished? He's the last opponent? Me personally, I don't want that to happen. I want AJ Styles to have one more match. One more match that is fitting to the word phenomenal. And in the WWE sense, because we have 2 more shows before Saudi Arabia. On Raw, you can have AJ Styles face CM Punk. That's a beautiful matchup right there. You can have AJ Styles versus Cody Rhodes. Still, I don't see how that's going to fit, in considering that Cody Rhodes is involved in his own little story right now. You can get 2 good matches under AJ Styles before he finishes off at Saudi Arabia. But then what then? As wrestling fans, do we really want to see the last match of AJ Styles' incredible career to be against Gunther in Saudi Arabia? Really? Without actually getting the chance to see the real AJ Styles? The real AJ Styles who has broken the chains of the WWE moveset? The AJ Styles who will embrace his New Japan roots, his TNA roots? I'm not expecting him to do flips. I'm not expecting him to do crazy off-the-wall stunts. I expect him to be stiff, calculated. That is why I feel, for me, personally, that AJ Styles' final match before he hangs up for good should be against Kenny Omega. Ooh, you can hear the WWE fans in the comment section upset with that. See, now they're going to fight with me, hoping and praying that if this is AJ Styles' final match in the WWE ring, that he immediately signs that Legends deal so that Tony Khan never gets his hands on him. And the WWE fans are also convinced for the fact that AJ Styles probably may not want that send-off match. That he is very content with what he has. And he just wants to walk away and be a family man. And they will be happy with that too. They will not be happy to see AJ Styles versus Kenny Omega in an AEW ring. Heck, I don't even know if they'll even be, if they'll like to see AJ Styles in a New Japan ring. Because they know that if AJ Styles were to go to any other organization but the WWE and have the match of his lifetime, it's going to be a 5-star match of the year. No questions asked. And the WWE will not have anything to do with it. And that will piss them off. And I'm not saying that all of you WWE fans collectively are going to act that way, but you have to understand there's a lot of weirdos online who are thinking that way. Same thing with AEW fans. But you got to put that in perspective. All right? There's over 200 million people, 300 million people in the United States. Far more throughout the entire world. You don't think that a portion of that are just ridiculous idiots who will say shit like, I don't want AJ Styles in AEW. It's bullshit, Tony Khan, blah, blah, blah. He's going to get hurt and all that stuff. Yeah. You hear it all the time. For most of you, you're getting PTSD out of that. But at the end of the day, and this is very important, at the end of the day, whatever is AJ Styles' decision, we must support him and back him up 100%. If by next week he goes to Saudi Arabia, loses to Gunther, put his boots in the middle of the ring, and walk away, you deserve it, sir. The next time we'll see you will be the night before WrestleMania in the Hall of Fame. If 6 months from now, a year from now, he decides to come back from retirement and challenge Kenny Omega to a final match, we must support him along the way because it's his decision. And I just want people to understand that no matter what AJ Styles does beyond this point, we will give him his love, we will give him his respect, we will show him his flowers, and we will give him our full, unadulterated support because the man deserves it. And that's all I want to say about that. But what I really want to hear from you folks is, what's your feeling? What your thoughts, what your feelings are about AJ Styles and his future and where he goes from there. Could there be a possibility that he defeats Gunther and then we could see more of AJ Styles? Who knows? We don't know. But I'm going to post this on YouTube. I'm going to post this on Twitter. You let me know in the comment section what you guys think about it. And I hope to do more videos like this in the future. And I definitely will. But for now, this is Gun Hill Bane signing off. And I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Take care.